Hey y'all, thank y'all for tuning in, man. What's good with y'all, man? Today, man, we got a special guest, man. Good partner of mine, man. None other than the Nate Jones, man.
What's up, buddy? You all
Hey,
right?
man, yes, sir, man. I'm glad you stopped by the podcast, man. So yeah, man, I just wanna get into it, man. I think you got a amazing backstory, man. So won't you tell me a little bit of your backstory? I know you in the you real heavy in the sports and all that, so I want to kind of get your beginning story of where it all started from.
Man, just playing around the neighborhood like a little kid, man, playing with the bigger kids. Going back and forth to 15th Street Apartments, it was a lot of kids in the neighborhood, a lot of adults, a lot of guys that we looked up to as kids. I had a cousin named Ty Anthony Jones. He played football at Westland and at Texas High Pine Street back then, and a guy named Chakari Smith that grew up and played tight end that could catch anything, without gloves. And so just growing up and being around bigger kids and hanging around bigger adults, back then we had a game called Killer Man. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You grab the ball, you throw it in the air, you get tackled, you throw it in the air. So
Oh yeah, I played there before.
yeah, so it was just a game that was full of where I come from, a lot of athletes that grew up over there. So we did it every day. I mean, from baseball, racing each other, so just getting that competitiveness in me that, that my dad already had in him, from him playing football as well.
Oh
it
yeah,
just brought the best out of me.
yeah. Your dad, I think he played for Atlanta Falcons, didn't he?
Yeah,
At one
he
time?
went to Texas High and was a blue chip running back. Ended up going to the University of Arkansas. Ended up getting picked up by the Atlanta Falcons in free agency, and then I ended up coming around. So back then he gave up his football career to come back and be a father and go to work. So it's a blessing just to have somebody that went through that experience and have the idol over here as a Texas High standout running back, and just hearing people talk about him in the neighborhood, watching some of his highlights from the University of Arkansas, and actually seeing one of the defensive player of the year. I mean, defensive in the bowl game, the Liberty Bowl, he got the defensive player of the game against Bo Jackson. I think he had like 20 tackles, 18, 20 tackles in that game. So
Oh.
it's just an honor to see the accolades that we all have out of me, him, and my brother.
Yeah, most definitely. Shout out to Big Nate, man. He's a good guy. Definitely a good guy all around, man. I've had the chance to just be around him and be up under him. I mean, man, he just showed me all kind of little game, just down to earth, real good dude, man. So yeah, so where you grew up at?
I grew up right there in the same house right off 15th Street, man. I
Texas
think my mom,
County,
yeah,
yeah.
Texas County, Texas. I had somebody ask me the other day how long we've been staying over there. I told them, I think my mom that moved over there when I was like 6 months old, and the apartments is right down the street. They call it 15th Street Apartments.
Yeah.
Now they call it Hampton Homes now.
Yeah.
And so just growing up in that area, like I said, from down the street from Griff King, Bowie, Stevenson, and all that.
Definitely.
And Bright Street, you had multiple guys and kids that came to 15th Street to play basketball. It was just a whole competitive nature with different kids.
Yeah.
As you see how good kids are at a young age, and then just seeing if they stay at it, how they could grow and potential would be something that that anybody that always wanted to be, athlete for is making it to the next level. I seen, back then, anytime the Cowboys came on, football came on Sundays, it was just, it was a thing between church and football, 'cause,
Yeah.
back then going to church, being there forever, and I'm trying to watch football, so it was just trying to milk the game, At the end of the day, if you want to be something or want to learn something, you got to milk it. You know what I'm saying? Just to get the idea, be able to have the function, the ability, And one thing I was doing was just milking it. You know what I'm saying? Just when Sundays came on, I was sitting right beside my dad watching football.
Yeah. Yeah, buddy. I grew up, I kind of bounced around. You know what I'm saying? I started off in Texas. Then my mama moved to Arkansas for a little bit. Then I came back to Texas. But I grew up right there, over there in Robinson Courts. You know what I'm saying? Back when they had all the trailer houses and stuff over there. But yeah, man, I grew up right over there, and we used to play. We always played sports. See, back in the day, man, when I was a kid, we was outside.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, we was outside.
Christmas time. Whether the weather was raining or cold, kids out there playing in their Christmas outfit. Now they got all these gadget games and all these kids don't even want to go out the front door.
That's true.
And back then, I'm looking at the mud stains in my pants.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We trying to figure out how we're gonna get these mud stains out.
Yeah.
So, or a shirt ripped off of me back when I was playing. So
Right.
it was just. Your shoes get muddy and dirty. You might have to. Your mama might say, "Oh, you gotta throw them in the trash."
Yeah.
It was just something that kids were very active out here when I was growing up in Texas County. That it's just totally changed now as we continue to grow, generation change.
Yeah, and see, that's another good point because back then it wasn't no touch screen, it wasn't no internet, no YouTube, none of that.
And the parents and the adults weren't gonna let you be in there as a kid when all the adults in the house. Hey, y'all go outside. You know what I'm saying? They gonna put you out. You know what I'm saying?
That's a
and it's different. Because you got kids that actually see different things that adults are doing now, and then they think it's cool or whatever the case may be. But at the same time, you got an upbringing. You know what I'm saying? It's baby steps. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be an adult one day. Sometimes kids just need to take their time and understanding that. You got to enjoy being a kid, man, because when adult life comes, it's over with. Everything's gonna be on point, So.
Yeah, that's an important factor too. And you as a kid, you brought up a good point. You couldn't sit in the house all day. No, you gonna do something. You got to go out.
Yeah.
I don't care if you picking up rocks, climbing trees.
You gonna do something?
Yeah, you gonna do something. You wasn't even allowed to just sit around and watch TV. Even when I stayed with my grandma, man, my grandma be in there watching her stories.
Yeah.
We get out there. We getting active.
The heat of the night and all
Yeah,
that.
heat of the night. Yes, sir. Murder She Wrote, all that stuff. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
so yeah, you have to get out there and get active, man,
Right.
and get busy. And for a while, man. Believe it or not, as time got on, I got lazy and stuff, but I picked up a lot of weight. But boy, I used to be out there doing backflips. We flipping off old mattresses that people done threw away, and we out there tackling each other.
Right.
With no helmet, no nothing.
Don't have nothing on.
So that's some of that originality. That's some of the things that make us who we is. I was saying this the other day. I was like, there's a time now where we done got away from there because it's like, sometimes I see a lot of people doing this even when it comes to kids. You feel like you want to give them something that you never had, but really, sometimes like the things that you didn't have is what ended up getting you to better things in life. Because, it's like you had that motivation, like, okay, you got that work ethic, that strive. But if it's easy for you, you know what I'm saying, you ain't got no strive. No, you just gonna be looking for somebody to kind of do it for you. So, it go back to those old school days when we outside and we out there squabbling with each other and man, all of that, man. So, man, yeah. We actually went to school together.
Right.
Man, you know what? Hey, I was thinking about this before you came. I said, man, you always was like a popular. You had that popular football player like vibe. You always had them jerseys on. And you looked like a football player even when we was young. You just stood out. You were different.
Man, it was. I'm thankful for my parents. My dad worked 2 jobs. My mom ended up working 2 jobs, and anything that I asked for, if they didn't have it at the time, I understood it. It was I'll get it eventually. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just trying to fit that mold. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I knew I was pretty good just from the little leagues playing flag football over there, Kilpatrick and everything back for the Boys and Girls Club, which is actually I met a lot of guys from that era, from the Boys and Girls Club, and just meeting different. Just just seeing it. You know what I'm saying? Then when you seeing it, in the Coach Stuckey, Lionel Stuckey dad, he was a coach on the other side, coaching against my dad and Jarrell Brewer and Mr. Brooks. You know, going against their team and Boys and Girl Club. That when it really just got, you know, it was really competitive. You know what I'm saying? You know, and it was just every time you competed against them, man, it's like you don't want to beat them because at the end of the day, when we had All-Star for the Boys and Girl Club, you all on their team. You know what I'm saying? So it was all about who ended up getting the number one seed and they could be the All-Star coach. And it was just, you know, and that what made the swagginess come in because I was like, if I could compete with those guys that I know that they had a good team in Boys and Girl Club, I could compete with anybody. So it was just, you know, coming to Arkansas for them, you know, leaving Texas, coming to Arkansas, meeting you. I think that's where we met at Fairview. We met before then.
We was at Fairview too.
Yeah,
but we was at 15th Street too. Yeah. We was at 15th Street, and I was at Fairview. Man, I heard somebody. I was talking to somebody the other day, Terrell. Yeah. Terrell Lace. He said he threw a chair at you or something.
When we was at Fairview?
Yeah, at Fairview or something. He said, man, I was so jealous of that job. I threw a chair.
Terrell, you know, I grew up with Terrell, man. I got love Terrell, man.
Yeah.
He stayed. His parents stayed next door to my auntie, so I mean, on Ash Street. So,
yeah,
I mean, I grew up with him. And
that's amazing, though. But you know, when you I used to go to the boys' club too. Yeah. Believe it or not, it was when it was over there, like kind of like off East 9th.
Yeah, the little building right across
the one by Taco Tico, kind of.
Yeah,
that's the one I used to go to all the time.
Them was good days.
Yeah,
man.
them was the good days, man. I used to be up in there, and all of them, we all in there playing basketball, and I kind of was off to myself a little bit, but I remember all of them being there, and you know, and man, that was really something. I think back on all that stuff and how youth development, you know what I mean? Like, back in the day, the boys' club was like school almost, you know what I'm saying? Like, my mama and them used to drop me off, and I would be there all day till they get off, you know what I'm saying? But that was back, Terry, Andrew, you know what I'm saying? They used to take us bowling alleys, and that back then, that's when Spring Lake Park had the pool. They had the pool. We used to go swimming.
During the summertime.
Yeah, so those youth development things, those definitely molded us and shaped us for sure.
Yeah. And then, I mean, even like the Boys and Girls Club in Beverly, I mean, you know, you get your little crew walking there, even though you're seeing all these grown men, you know, as a little kid, you're going to call next. I mean, you got to respect it, you know what I'm saying? And so, I mean, it was, I mean, the time I had as a kid and just seeing different guys that I felt like that was good, you know, in my neighborhood or whatever, or just good in general. It was more of like, hey, I want to jump like him.
Yeah,
I want to shoot like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I seen it with my own eyes, the potential certain guys had if they just had pushed themselves a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it was good in my neighborhood, man. As far as a lot of guys that came through there and athletes wise.
So for sure, so you had a good share of the both sides, Texas and Arkansas.
Yeah. I had a good 3-year run over in Arkansas. You know, even just, I mean, like guys over in Arkansas, like looking at Floyd. I mean, Floyd was he was good. I mean, he could handle the ball, you know. I seen him down the street play basketball all the time, and you know, he used to come down the street and play with us over here on Ash Street or whatever. So, and then just seeing him play in high school, it was just different. You know what I'm saying? And still could play a little bit now at the age he at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and that just show how much he loved the game. If you still trying to play it, you know.
Right, for sure.
So, but yeah, I mean, I seen a lot of guys, man, that had the potential that, you know, I feel like had potential that could have succeeded. And, you know, the Burks kid, Ando Neek and all them. You know,
for sure.
You know, all just watching all them over here in Arkansas. So,
you know,
I got to see both sides.
You know, even with Ando Neek and them, shout out to them, man. Them Burks, they was in there playing heavy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? At the
Marty
boys' club.
And all them, was at it.
Them boys was in there playing heavy every day. I'm like, man. So, you know, I had heard their little backstory, and I'm like, man. And then their brother went to play real pro ball, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So, all them things definitely with the youth development and all that, how it helped us along the way. So, man, you went to you played football in college and stuff, right?
Yes, sir. I went to Texas High, and I developed a skill that got me go. I mean, they gave me opportunity to go to a 4 or 5 year college at University of Texas. So, being on that team at Texas High for the accomplish a goal, win a state championship
Dang.
in 2002. There was a lot of talent on that team, and to be one of the guys that have a big major university that come look at you, which had several scholarships to go to anywhere I wanted to go to at the time.
Yeah.
Just being one of those guys was a blessing, to get the scholarships that I actually had for defense or offense. I had more scholarship for defense than I had offense or whatever. At the time, it was more just trying to figure it out. I was going to Texas football camps. Me and a couple of guys that was that I was going to school with, we went to a couple of football camps at the University of Texas, and then so on. Texas haven't offered me yet. So I was in that mode of trying to figure out, LSU was my number one school at the time because I wanted to go play for Nick Saban.
Yeah.
For defense or whatever, because he was the head coach, but also he worked his defensive backs or whatever. And I just felt like that was just cool that a head coach actually coaching the defensive backs as well, teaching, so in the recruiting process, just getting Arkansas offered me at the time. Coach Allen kept coming down, trying to get me to come to Arkansas. And I'm just really just narrowing everything down from the climates, you know what I'm saying? I know it's cold in Arkansas up there in Fayetteville, and so I was just like, no, I don't want to be in no cold climate,
Yeah.
So that was just a hesitation on me choosing them or whatever, because I know my dad went there as well. So,
okay.
In Oklahoma, I'm sitting there looking at Oklahoma. I don't want to be where tornadoes at. So I'm eliminating like different schools where I wanted to be at. And Baton Rouge was one of the ones that was narrowed down because I haven't got the scholarship yet from Texas. And then like my junior year, I got a phone. I mean, Coach Norton told me to come down to the facility, down to the athletic facility. So I come down there. He give me a 512 number to call. I call it. When I'm looking at it, I'm like, so I called it. Coach Brown get on the phone. He offered me the scholarship. I committed right then. Everything was shut down right off the top. I got that out the way going into my senior year because I just wanted to make sure everything was just finalized. If I had a bad injury going into my senior year, I knew I was, solidified with that scholarship. Going to the University of Texas, it was a honor to accept that scholarship and then being there with the class with a lot of guys that I got a chance to go in that class with. As talent wise, I've seen some tremendous talent, man.
Dang.
You'll be surprised what this world have endured with athletes around this world, man. When they body is well put together and just. Awful. As a kid, you put junk food in your body. You know what I'm saying? This and that. And then, you get there, everything you eat is practically protein, but it's building muscle. So it's like, if you could develop that at a young age as a kid to put great things in your body, and you sitting there looking at these guys like 6'7", 6'6", 330, but they got like 5% body fat. It's like
monster.
And then can run like 4'8", 4'9". It's unbelievable. You know what I'm saying? And so.
And like a diesel coming at you, man.
Man, it's man, you'd be surprised. I mean,
dang.
Yeah, the players that I came in with and like with Jordan Shipley, he was one of the guys in my class. Brian Arakpo, Derek Loki, Franco Camp, Ramonce Taylor. I had some guys that came in there that it was just you'd be looking like man, and Brian Arakpo, one of my brother's best friends. Like we real close. He's like a real brother to me. Seeing him come in at 6'3", 210, and then by the time he finished his career at Texas being 6'3" and a half, about 260 is just the development of how a Texas football program put in your body, of the nutritions and everything, how they do it.
Yeah. So how many years was you Was you at the University of Texas?
I was there 4 years. My first year was I wanted a red shirt, but all the guys that was there was either freshmen, and I think it was like one senior, which was Tony Jeffrey. And so it was just like me and Shipley. They already had us on the board to play or whatever. And I kept telling Coach Brown I wanted the red shirt just to be back with my class or whatever. But I knew the same offense. Like it takes how we ran the same offense that we ran in Texas. So it was like a number system. So it was so easy or whatever, just going through that change, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, like in any football, man, it's just the speed of the game. You know, if you could pick up the speed of the game, I feel like if you know the game already and you could pick up the speed, I think you was capable of being out there on the football field. And with me knowing the offense already and me picked up the speed like I did during tour days and everything, it made it very simple. But Shipley tore his ACL my freshman year, and so it was just boom. I had to go on and play. You know, I played as a freshman. Ended up starting in the 3-receiver set. Ended up playing against Michigan. Ended up winning the Rose Bowl my first year, and then my second year making a transition from my freshman to sophomore year, I started taking career team, and I came in as 180, and then I ended up going to my sophomore year at 210. Man, I gained like 30 pounds of bad muscle, and ended up, you know, lost speed, got too big, pulled hamstrings going into two-a-days and everything. It was just like a whole frustration thing because me trying to idolize people like Anquan Bolden, Larry Fitzgerald, Chad Johnson. You know, I had guys that I idolized, that I had posters on my locker and everything that I looked up to for as the individual things that they could do, me watching them play. And then talking to my daddy, and he I'm telling him I'm on career team. He telling me, "No, get off of that. You don't need that. That's gonna mess you up." And then not listening to him, and end up getting messed up. And so I had to take the backseat role of not even, you know, starting as a freshman, playing as much as I did a freshman, and going to the transition sophomore. I'm looking for bigger things for myself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the coaches came and gave me an ultimatum of red shirting and this and that. But you know, me being high-headed and competitor, it was like, no, I'm not for the red shirt. I play as a freshman, but I should have went on and listened to the coaches at the time, and you know, playing a little bit here and there in the national championship years, and we ended up going on winning the national championship, which was a blessing disguised, because just winning the state championship and then coming to win the national championship was a goal that I had set for the time of me making the transition, going to college or whatever. Especially with just seeing the talent. You know, we had a phenomenal guy in Vince Young, man. I mean, just seeing him overall at practice and his how the way he approached work every day, you know. Vince is a great guy, and he approached, you know, if anybody down, man, he was very positive. You know what I'm saying? And he wanted everybody to be up, you know, to get ready to accomplish things that we set.
Yeah.
During the summer, during the summer workouts and everything, we all set these goals out for them first 2 years, and we actually got a chance to accomplish one.
Right.
And it was an honor to be beside him to accomplish that goal.
All right. Yeah, for sure, man.
And so yeah, I did 4 years there, and I had Vince Young for 2 years and Colt McCoy for 2 years.
That's what's up. So, man, you actually went to the NFL too, man. Talk about that. That's like a dream come true for, you know, everybody that's playing, even in the hood as kids. That's the dream.
Yeah.
We want to get that NFL touch, man. So let's talk about that. So what team you went in on? What year was that?
It was 2008. I want to say 2008. I ended up going to picking up free agent. I got picked up as a free agent with the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah.
That was an experience of its own thing, you know, just going there and being around like certain guys that you already knew, and that was going through the recruiting process in college, and actually playing against as Pee Wee, like Adrian Peterson. Me and him played ball against each other in Pee Wee football and carried on going on recruiting trips. I mean, we stayed going to the Oklahoma and Texas game together. So me and him had a great bond, and so going to Minnesota and going up there, it was like, it was home because I actually had two guys that I played with in college at Texas that was already there, Brian Robinson and Cedric Griffin, and AP was the guy that we already knew, so our bond was connected, and just seeing the develop of him and then see how he approached practice every day. Yeah. You know, you learn things from certain people that you try to see how they grade and how they do things in practice. And one thing about Adrian Peterson, man, every time he got a handoff, no matter where he was at on the field, bro, he ran all the way to the end zone. Dang. And they had to wait on him to come back with the football to call the next play. He did this every time he got a handoff.
Dang.
And so just seeing that development, that's his conditioning as well. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
What he training his body to do and training his mindset to do was, every time I get the football, I'm trained to go score. You know what I'm saying? So
Dang.
it was just, I mean, just seeing that kind of work and, just Tavares Jackson, I think he came from Arkansas as a quarterback, ended up going to a smaller school. He was the quarterback at the time, and just witnessing different things and in Minnesota, just seeing how they approach work every day, just being around adults and everything.
Right.
And, after the stint in Minnesota, I ended up going to St. Louis. And now I'm looking at another running back in Steven Jackson that was a big back and how the way he approached work every day. And Mark Bolger and all that. Just being there with Mark Bolger was just incredible. Him and Torrey Holt, because I remember watching them The Greatest Show on Turf when they were with the Rams, and Mark Bolger was the backup behind Kurt Warner, and just seeing him still there, and Torrey Holt, I got a chance to learn something from a veteran that was part of The Greatest Show on Turf with him and Isaac Bruce. I learned a lot, man. I learned a lot on a lot of things on how to approach work and how to really take care of the body nutritionally wise, because they had like buffet of food or whatever to eat, you know what I'm saying? Right. So it was everything I learned, man. I try to stick to those certain things out here in this world that we in now, and just how they approach every day, you know what I'm saying? Wake up with a positive attitude and approach it and attack it every day, So, I mean, it installed a lot. I mean, just being around them grown men as a 22, 23-year-old man. Yeah. And, still, like I try to tell people, man, it was fun, you know what I'm saying? But the different things was from college and NFL, when you got through football practice, you and your boys going to hang out, you know what I'm saying? Right. With that situation, when you get in the NFL, man, you have adults, you know what I'm saying, that actually already got families. They got to go take care of their kids, go spend time with their wife when the football practice is over with. So that was kind of different. I mean, so it was just finding the guys that I hung out with, and then, we started hanging out more and everything. But, yeah, I mean, the experience in the NFL was totally different than college, you know what I'm saying? And so it was a blessing just to be able to make it, just to actually see how it go down in the NFL.
And that right there is a blessing. And I was sitting here thinking, I said, man, throughout the whole time I've known you, man, you've always been a positive guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter what, even going to school with you and stuff, man, you was a positive guy, you know what I'm saying? Like, I look back on it and I'm like, man, stuff like that can take you a long way. You can go a long way, like, just being like that, man. And, man, it's just, man, I'm glad for you. I'm glad for all the things God done did for you and your family and stuff like that, and you come from a pretty good family, too, you know what I'm saying? So, man, shout out to Nate and Cheryl, man. What they just celebrated,
45 years together, 42 years married, man. That's a blessing. I mean, in today's time, you ain't gonna hardly see that, and, it's a blessing that for me to still have both my parents and my little brother having both our parents together. Yeah. And, just now, just seeing the enjoyment they have with each other, man. I guess when people get older, they get funny. Just sitting around the house and just listening to them two. You can just see the love in the house. You know what I'm saying? So
for sure.
And that's one of my pet peeves. A positive mindset, man. Can't nobody get in your way and distracted. And I just see how they approach every day. Positive with each other. Go around, do their little drive arounds, checking on their houses and stuff. I mean, it's just they got a great bond with each other. Yeah. So I'm happy to get a chance to see that.
Man, that's good. That's good. So, man, I know you was doing like some football camps and stuff now. So what your plans and stuff is for going into 2025?
I got some stuff laid out for 2025. I'm gonna start a Cloud9 Foundation. Try to get back into the community. I had a little setback a couple years back. I was doing football camps with the kids in the neighborhood and donating money back to the Boys and Girls Club. That's when it was on Milam. I did like 3 football camps and gave it back to that Boys and Girls Club over there and everything. And so, I had a setback, got into a little trouble or whatever. I didn't want that to be involved in anything that I had going on or whatever the case may be. So, 2025, I'm bring the football camp back. I got some guys that reached out to me and said I need to bring that back. And just start a Cloud9 Foundation and just try to be more involved in the community. Me and my mom also talked about, doing $1,000 scholarships for Liberty Islo School, Pleasant Grove School, Arkansas High, and Texas High for the next year. So I'm trying to get more involved and just try to be here for the community, man. If we could all reach out to these kids and and get kids to listen. We can't force them to listen. It's just a different path that a lot of kids choose to go through now. So, at the end of the day, we can catch one and everybody can help each other out to come together and get this community back on the right path and, drop guns and stop the violence that's going on with little kids nowadays. That's my only goal. If God could bless me to be more involved, then I'm going to have to be more involved because I know there's a lot going on in the neighborhoods and both sides that I don't approve of and I know other guys don't approve of. That's up in age, too, we want to go somewhere comfortably. We want to go party somewhere comfortably. We don't want to go somewhere and don't know if this is going to be the last time we can make it up out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So, that's just, if that's just talking to everybody. Guys, if they want to get involved with it, let's do it and try to get this community on the right path, man, and tell these kids, man, there's bigger things than walking around with guns and shooting up different things or doing drive-bys because it's only two things that are gonna come with that: life sentence or a grave site. So that's what I got planned for 2025.
That's for sure. And even now, how we come together, I'm basically trying to do. I'm doing the same thing. Even with my podcast studio, and I know now everything is digital. Mm-hmm. Everybody watching all these videos, but I'm just showing the positive side of it too. Cause man, I put all this together. Yeah. I'm saying, like, by myself.
I praise you for it, man.
Yeah, man, appreciate that. I put it all together, and I just want to show, the youth, like, look, and there's something positive you can do. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And you don't, you can just, there's something I always like to do. I remember one time I had somebody in here, they was like, I had a few guests in here, they like, man, did you go to school for this? How did you, no. The most I did when it came to learning this with school, when I was in high school, I was going to Arkansas High. I had Razorback TV, and I was a camera guy. And they was teaching us, like, in school, like, when you're an anchor, they let me anchor before. They let me run a prompter. You know what I'm saying? A prompter is when the words are at the bottom of the camera and when people are looking directly into the screen, they're actually reading, but the prompter is on the bottom. You can't see it. Right. I've ran a prompter before, and I was a interview person, and they used to teach us different things on how you interview people and how you anchor and all that. So I liked it, that stuff. Yeah, so it just kind of stuck out with me. So. And I took
they had those little things in school that you can get better at doing. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. The only thing I was really paying attention to in school that it caught my attention was being an entrepreneur. We had a class over at Texas High called entrepreneurship and teach you how to, start your own business and everything. And so that was something that I was always interested in, just starting my own business and, and just trying to figure it out. At the end of the day, you're going to hit and miss on some of your things that you do. But when you do get it right, you got it right. You know what I'm saying? So, this right here is amazing, man, that you figured out what you loved and you're doing it. I like what you're doing for the people of Texas County, give them an opportunity to come on a platform and talk about themselves and talk about their life history or whatever the case may be, or just talk about anything that they want to promote, to get themselves out there. And, this is an honor to be on this show.
Man, I'm an honor to have you here because I'm gonna tell you the truth, man. I'm really a huge fan of you, man. Seriously though, man, I'm a huge fan of you. You know what I mean? Like from the time I heard your story and then meeting your parents, stuff. Because we used to go to church together. Right. You know what I mean? But just there was times like when I had things I was dealing with in my life, man, your dad, he'll help me. Right. Like, I had problems with my truck one time. He knew a guy that knew them Fords, right? We Ford, man, me and Nate, so he was like, man, I know somebody, and I took it over there, and man, that dude fixed my truck up. And I was just like, man, and he ain't never looked for nothing in return. I learned a lot watching your dad, man.
And that's the type of person he is, man.
Yeah.
You know, anything people need help with, man. He even like I try to tell him, Dad, you need to sit down, man. You
Yeah.
know, he just don't want to sit down. He help with anything. Like even when sometimes when I have my issues, I say, Daddy, just come show me what I need to do. Instead of showing me, he's just gonna go on and do it. But like, that's just the type of person he is. I mean,
Yeah.
and I appreciate you admiring him and
Yeah.
learning different things from him.
Man, and
picking up.
even your mom. I mean, one time they always tried to put me at work because during the time when you was in the, I think you had just went to Minnesota, and your mom came to me. She was like, "Hey, we got Nate Jr. All his highlight videos." She was like, "I want you to get all his videos and put them together, make him a highlight video." You know what I'm saying? And I'm like. They wanted me to put that highlight video for you back then. So people don't know, man, I've been doing this stuff. It's just, I got to a point in my life where I was just like, man, I just really want to, this year, I just said, you know what, man, I'm really just going to put all I got into myself. Because see, me and my wife had started the restaurant and stuff like that. So, I just want to put all my knowledge into what I did, and so far I'm liking the way it come, man. People like you, I'm glad y'all different ones in the city, the positive influences, man. I'm glad y'all coming through, man. And
man. I mean, that's just something that a couple of guys, ex guys that played here.
Yeah.
Me and Trey Carson. I like what he's doing with down in Jefferson, and then still coming back helping out with some of the kids around here. Everybody got a story, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And everybody, and most of the people, you might not see us around that much, but all of us positive, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's just what the movement is, and and I mean I like it. I mean I like what everybody doing, LaMichael, Smoothie with his music or whatever he got going on,
Smoothie, he played football and stuff too. He big on the sports. Smoothie.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of us is, man. You ought to hear us sometime on these phones, man, just talking about different things and just talking about different scenarios. You know what I'm saying? Because personally, I see the game different. I mean, I see it differently, and a lot of us just get on and just we put our input on it. You know what I mean?
That's how it go.
We critics at the same time. We just want to see this city be successful. You know what I'm saying? No matter which side it's on, and so it's just amazing in the knowledge that all of us, 7 or 8 or 9 of us, all have that's been there and collectively try to put our brains together. And then at the end of the day, we'll laugh about it. You know what I'm saying? So it's all fun, man, and it's all love.
Is there a favorite team you have right now when it comes to the sports or
them Longhorns, man? I'm braided in that, boy. I'm a Texas boy. I love them Longhorns. I mean, and I'm a Cowboy fan. But the past couple of years, them Cowboys been having me swinging on the swing set. Don't know which side I want to go on, man.
Yeah,
so,
I know.
It's just embarrassing to keep seeing this disappointment every year. It really aggravates me to the T because I mean we should have been had another one in 20-some years, and
For sure.
but I mean it's all fun and games because you got 49 people on the internet.
Yeah.
You got Eagles on the internet, and they're my biggest critics. So at the end of the day, the Eagles are the champs this year. I could say the 49ers underneath the Cowboys, and so we got a better record than them, and so it's just fun, man. Just to see everybody just connect and talk about it. But man, yeah, I'm a Cowboy fan, and I love anything dealing with Dallas, with the Mavericks and the Rangers and all that. And besides any team, besides that, man, it's gonna be the Golden State Warriors. I mean,
for sure.
I like the Warriors, man, just because just watching the development of them when it was Clay and Steph, and just seeing how things gonna pan out without Clay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
with
for
Clay
sure.
is in Dallas, so yeah. Them my teams, and like I said, I love every team in Texas. With the Houston Rockets, but I don't want them to beat Dallas. Houston, Texas, I don't want them to beat the Cowboys, but in San Antonio, everything is Dallas with me. Outside of that is Texas. So
For sure.
I mean, they're my sports teams. I mean, I can't put everybody on the Longhorns, but y'all make sure y'all watch the game against Arizona State this week on coming up on the 1st, and watch the Longhorns win this national championship.
Yeah, for sure. What do you think going to the Super Bowl this year?
For the Super Bowl, man,
What's
I
your
really
prediction?
like Buffalo to take it. I mean, I feel like
Buffalo.
Buffalo is a tough team if they get everybody healthy. You know, Josh Allen had a couple of chances. You know, I thought it was gonna be a huge drop off with the people they lost in the offseason, but I see that you know, what I mean, he doing what he's supposed to do as a quarterback. I mean, probably had one of the best years without one of the top receivers that he had last year, Stephon Diggs. I mean, I like Buffalo, and I like to see. I think it's gonna be Buffalo and the Eagles, man. I think if the Eagles fully healthy and everything with Saquon, that was a huge addition for them.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really see too many people that could really just with Saquon make a huge difference for the Eagles, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, I like the Detroit Lions, but they coach might make a blooper here and there if in a close game because, you know, but that's just who he is. I like how the way Dave Campbell how he approached the game. I mean, he gonna take chances on fourth down. So I like Buffalo and the Eagles at the end of the day in the Super Bowl.
Cool.
And I'll take Buffalo.
Yeah.
Just because of Josh Allen and, you know, what his dual threat of what he could do on the field with the legs and everything.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I can't go with the Eagles in the Super Bowl. That'd be messed up.
Yeah. I feel yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, so man, anything else, man, you wanna plug? Get to if y'all make sure y'all follow him, Nate Jones, be looking some more stuff coming from I know on Facebook. I don't know what else you got out there, but I know.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's just like the little things I said.
You kind of low key anyway. You kind of stay to yourself.
Man. If anybody want to reach out to me, y'all can reach out to me on Instagram, Facebook, and you know, we could talk about whatever. I mean, I'm open for anything, and I'm just here and there. I'm back and forth from here to Dallas, or whatever, because my kid's in Dallas, so I'm always down there, or whatever. So. But yeah, I'm here. I mean, I could be a helping hand in any source or whatever if I can, and just reach out.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Well, again, man, I definitely appreciate you stopping by here, man. Oh man, it was a good interview, man. I'm glad you stopped by. Like I said, I'm a huge fan you, man. So I'm glad you come by. But y'all be, like I said, y'all hear everything that's going on, so y'all be looking out for some more. And we appreciate you stopping by the podcast today, man.
Yes, sir.
All right. We see y'all later.